housekeeping rules. Number one, if you could make sure that your microphones are on mute so there's no distractions. You are welcome to write down your comments and questions in the chat section, which I believe is on the right side of your Zoom page. There will be a question and answer period at the end of Claudette's presentation. And so please stay on board if you can. And now please meet my very lovely business partner, Gabby Eaton, who will take it away. Take it away.
Thank you, Josie. Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces. It's been a long time, and it's also wonderful to welcome the many new guests that are a part of this wonderful presentation as we kick off 2021. We're always thrilled to have a new member come on board, and that is our wonderful Claudette, and I'm going to do the formal introduction now. So we hope that you'll enjoy the presentation, and we'll look forward to the Q&A afterwards. So Claudette Cain Coulas, she was former mayor of the fastest growing city in Canada and now author of Ladies Take Your Place, Leave Your Mark politically, professionally, and personally. Claudette helps passionate women become the CEO of their own lives and makes a dramatic difference in the lives of others. Claudette's wit and humor, and we can attest to that, shines through when sharing her experiences, lessons learned, and skills acquired over 4 decades. Be it leadership, breaking down the barriers of mental health, the secrets and myths of getting elected, choosing your own career path, or building a foundation of true self-care, you will clearly understand the value of a trusted mentor in your life. Successful in 4 distinctive careers, Claudette's inspiring stories will leave you with a heightened sense of empowerment, enthusiasm, and resilience. Women who want to become the best version of themselves is Claudette's most important reason and purpose and ultimate motivation. Let's give a warm welcome to Claudette. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, and the show is yours.
Gabby, thank you so much, and Josie as well for that kind introduction. And for the wonderful welcome that you've extended to me over the last several months since I've joined your network of entrepreneurs. It's really much appreciated. Well, we're smack in the middle of World War III. Make no mistake, COVID-19 is definitely a war that's affected every man, woman, and child on this planet. I'm a glass half full type of person, and so I like to look on the bright side of things, and I live my life on the bright side, positive. But we were supposed to flatten the curve and stop the spread by wearing our masks, distancing ourselves, and washing our hands. What the heck happened? It's little wonder that many people are skeptical about what 2021 holds in store for us. We're navigating uncharted medical territories right across the globe. And yet we're blessed with medical scientists and professionals who've discovered a vaccine in record time, which will save our lives. And so we're blessed beyond measure. I'm sure you agree with that. Now, we've all heard this new vocabulary of reset, reinvent, reorganize, reopen, like enough already. Just for today, I'd like you to take all the re's in your language, put them in a little box to the side in case you need them somewhere down the road, but not today. Today is my opportunity to express my gratitude, my support, and my respect for all of you in business. Because being in business takes a lot of guts, and staying in business, even on a shoestring, shows just how determined and professionals you are. And it also shows how much you care for your community. I've owned and operated 2 retail businesses over the years, and it was scary sometimes. It was either feast or famine, it seemed, cash flow issues, shortage of staff, supplier problems, and a few times I wondered if it was really worth it. Well, I know that it was. I just had to take things in stride, just like we have to do right now. And even when you felt like giving up and giving in to this horrendous pandemic, many of you have shown just how fearless and resilient you are. The proof is in the pudding, as they say, because thankfully some businesses have actually flourished in the last year and have hired staff. And what's even greater, some companies plan on expanding in 2021 and hiring more people. So not all is lost, even though our hearts do go out to those that are suffering. So just for today, we're going to remove those words. It brings to mind, my apologies for losing my spot there. It brings to mind the quote from Stephen Jobs. And it is, let's go and invent tomorrow instead of worrying about what happened yesterday. And what has impressed me the most is, as a former mayor, how the business community in Eastern Ontario has shown support for each other. I've witnessed more than one entrepreneur who's talking with a customer and apologizing for not having the product that they were looking for, but readily said, you know, Tom down the road carries that product, and I know they'd be happy to help you. So that's a selfless act of, and a generous act towards their brothers and sisters in business. And now the vaccine has arrived and given us even more hope for 2021. Now, my presentation today is intended to have you relax a bit. I'm going to take you on a wild and wacky journey that I've lived through, and hopefully leave you with a few gold nuggets that could help you down the road. At least I hope so. I've tried to think of how I could lighten things up a bit and let us all get off that train of anxiety and worry and replace it with a little bit of fun and positivity. So my presentation is virtual, which is now the new normal for right now, at least. But mine is also voice activated. And if it hears a yawn in the audience, heavy metal music automatically comes on. And we see these wacky lights flashing in our face. I don't know about you, but I don't like heavy metal music, and I'm hoping that you don't either. As you've heard, I'm the author of the upcoming book, Ladies, Take Your Place. Leave your mark, politically, professionally, and personally. I think more of us should be telling our stories. Writing a book is a great way to capture innovative ideas, release feelings of anxiety, of fear, and share the good and the bad in your life, which could perhaps help someone else and even save a life. My publisher at Black Card Books related that a young man was at one of his seminars, and the man had planned to take his own life that very morning. And he'd purchased whatever it was he needed to carry out his suicide. As he walked by his kitchen table that morning and he saw my publisher's book on the table, Publish a Book and Grow Rich, as you can see, he picked it up and was leafing through it. And he decided to go to the seminar that he was registered for that day. So along he went with his book. And at the end of day, he approached my publisher and thanked him and said he chose to live because of him. I can assure you, my publisher, Jerry Robert, tells this story with the utmost humility and compassion for this man. What a wonderful way, an example of the power of the word, the written word. They say most of us have more than one book in us, so maybe you should think about that. Maybe you can save a life by writing a book. I chose the title of my book because I've lived through quite a bit of this stuff, politically, professionally, and personally. And I hope that my stories today will resonate with you and maybe leave you with a few gold nuggets that will bring you comfort and get you excited about life in general. It's time we take our rightful place in society, in the boardrooms, in the courtrooms, at the most complex decision-making tables there are, and in our families and our homes. I'm not one to play the victim game. That's not what this is about. However, we do make up more than 50% of the population globally. And according to the 2020 analysis by Mercer, the higher up the corporate ladder, the fewer women. For example, less than 13% of women are at the vice president or executive level, and 16% in senior management roles. Now, the same applies to our Canadian politics. In the last federal election, we elected more women than ever on Parliament Hill at the federal level. And yet, we're still only at 28% of all those parliamentarians. And globally, elected women account for less than 30%. So there's definitely something wrong with those pictures. His Excellency Kofi Annan, the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations and a Nobel Peace Prize recipient, noted, and I quote, "Study after study has taught us there is no tool for development more effective than the empowerment of women." Now, I've got to repeat that. There is no tool for development more effective than the empowerment of women. Wow. That means that confirms our strength and our courage and our determination. Thank God for us. The world needs more of us, women, at the helm. And with all due respect to my male counterparts, women take the trophy hands down when it comes to our intuition, to trusting our intuition, and for the art of juggling. We juggle our homes, our partners, our jobs, our kids, paying the bills, making meals. We do it all at the same time. And most of the time we do it without losing it. And what we need now are more passionate, intelligent women ready to take on the world and make a dramatic difference in their lives and in the lives of others. I've had 4 distinctive careers in my life. I was a retail entrepreneur for 10 years. Then I was in the political arena for 20 years, and then went on to have this great, exciting gig in the media for 3 years. I'll tell you a little more about that. And then I spent 17 years as a member of the judiciary with the Ontario Court of Justice. I retired from there just a year ago. So that makes me around 39 years old. Yes, I can hear you laughing. My start in the political arena was a bit strange. I was in my late 20s and I'd chosen to leave the public sector or private sector and sold my business and decided to stay home and hopefully become a mom. After a couple of months, I knew I had to get back to work. I had to feel productive again, and that wasn't happening. So I applied for a part-time receptionist position at the town hall of Gloucester. I was granted an interview by the city clerk, And he promptly told me after the interview that I did not qualify for that job. Now, I was fluently bilingual, and I could type 120 words a minute, if any of you remember just typing. But he was the boss. So that city clerk, though, is the same guy who that denied me that job, is the same guy who officiated at my very first swearing-in ceremony as mayor of that same city of Gloucester. You can imagine how that story went around all of our staff parties and Christmas parties. It was a hoot. But I lost my first election, excuse me, by less than 1 vote per poll. It sure brought home the importance of every single vote, of being well organized and knowing where your support is, then getting the vote out. We've heard enough about politics recently in the American media, but I needed to share that with you because it's true that every vote counts. And I then went on to win 5 consecutive elections, 3 of which as mayor of the city of Gloucester. It was my dream job. I loved every single minute of it. And I was in a place where I could make complex decisions. The people in the city, the residents, were receptive, and my city council was very forward thinking. So I was truly blessed. But we did government differently. My mentor, my coach, was Hurricane Hazel, the famous mayor of Mississauga for 4 decades. She retired just a couple years ago, and she will be 100 years old on Valentine's Day next month. I called her for research on my book, and I'm telling you, she's as sharp as a tack and taught me a whole lot over the years. I'm not ashamed to say that I copied several of her policies and of her programs that she had in the city of Mississauga. And I did it because Gloucester was better off for it. Well, I earned the reputation of being bold and feisty, and I'd rather think that I'm a straight shooter and I tell it like it is. But my approach is bold in most areas. You don't often hear of a municipality lowering property taxes. But we did that in my first term, and we paid off the city debt. But then came the famous mega amalgamation. 12 municipalities, all with lots of money in the bank and no debt, were all bunched into one city of Ottawa that was debt-ridden and had lots of debt. Now, and they also spent money like drunken sailors. It made no sense to me at the time. And even to this day, I think that the provincial government should have left well enough alone. If it wasn't broke, we didn't have to fix it. But I ran for mayor of the mega city anyway, and I came in second. Now, it wasn't the results that we wanted, but I remained grateful for the privilege of having served my community for 20 years. And a tremendous source of pride for me, which occurred after I left politics, is a beautiful 2-mile-long waterfront park named after me. It's very humbling since the request for the name of the park came directly from the residents in the community. So is everyone still with me? I haven't heard the heavy metal music yet, and I'm not seeing those flashy, crazy lights. So I hope everyone is still good. Losing that election, that mega election, was a blessing in disguise. It forced me to reflect on how best I could continue to serve my community. And I had to pull up my big girl boots and do something else with my life. I quickly learned to believe that quote that says, when a good entrepreneur jumps off a cliff, she builds an airplane on her way down. And that's exactly what I did. I found myself hosting my own television show, nightly television show on Rogers TV. I was host of the Raising Cain program on CFRA radio. And at the same time, I was the municipal affairs columnist for a daily newspaper in Ottawa. What a great gig that was. It was a whole lot of fun, but I was burning the candle at both ends, working night and day. But I was interviewing intelligent, fascinating people, men and women, and I learned so much. But the best thing that I learned was not to take myself so seriously. Something that I did when I first became mayor. I actually believed that I couldn't go to the cottage on the weekend because Gloucester would fall apart without me. Well, it didn't take too long to figure out that Gloucester was just fine. It did not need me 24/7. And when I was still in the media, I got a call from the Ontario Attorney General offering me an appointment to the Justice of the Peace Bench for the Ontario Court of Justice. I thought, wow, I have a job where all I have to do is marry people once in a while. Well, let me tell you, I was in for quite a surprise. I honestly had no idea what a Justice of the Peace actually did. But as a member of the judiciary, I made life-changing decisions regarding the liberty of individuals each and every day. I presided over bail hearings, approved or denied search warrants, restraining orders, mental health applications. And I also presided over all trials under the Provincial Offences Act. Now, those trials could involve some very complex and long-lasting trials, some involving serious injuries and even fatalities. I've seen provincial offense trials last 6 months. So our decisions had to be thought out, well analyzed before we could deliver them. But the most hard part or difficult part for me as a member of the judiciary was keeping my opinions to myself. Most of you who know me would agree that I shoot from the hip and tell it like it is. But I couldn't put myself in that position of a perceived conflict of interest when I was on the bench. I didn't want to take a chance on jeopardizing my credibility or have a negative impact on the judicial system. So I zipped it up for 17 years. As you can see, I was very blessed in the positions of trust that I was fortunate enough to hold. And they were all in spite of having battled the ravaging demons of mental illness 3 times before the age of 25, and once 27 years later. I compare that time in my life to COVID-19. It was like sinking in quicksand with my arms up in the air, praying that I wouldn't go down into oblivion. I certainly don't wish it on anyone. It was the most debilitating time of my life. Yet I believe that everything happens for a reason. And having gone through the hellhole of despair, I really have a special place in my heart for anyone suffering from a mental illness. And I met many, many people while working in the courts and in politics who were obviously suffering. And I truly feel I was better able to understand those folks. And I made it my mission to truly listen to them and talk to them in such a way that they would know that they were respected and understood. My very serious bouts with that mental illness were my dirty little secret, which I couldn't talk about before I retired last year. And that's because of the stigma towards mental illness. And it still exists today. But more and more people are giving much of themselves and conducting research and creating awareness. Oh, I've lost my spot again here. I'll try it. My sincere apologies. I do get somewhat emotional when I talk about that subject, and I still like to sort of come out, as they say, and having done that in less than a year ago, it is somewhat difficult for me. Now, as I said, my serious bouts with mental illness were my dirty little secret. And I had to zip it up, which I did. But can you imagine for just a minute running a multi-million-dollar corporation like the City of Gloucester for 20 years and commanding a courtroom for 17 years after going through those traumatic events? Most people would think it couldn't be done. Well, I did it. And I did it with passion and resolve, and with my credibility intact. And now I'm determined more than ever, even when I lose my place as I'm talking to you. I'm determined to create awareness about mental health and show everyone who will listen that we can bounce back from that kind of excruciating pain and traumatic events, be it COVID or mental illness, and we can live the life of our dreams. We have to prioritize our wellness, and we have to have a good, solid foundation for a self-care plan. Having a trusted mentor and coach can help you make enormous breakthroughs in your life. Now, with all that trauma behind me, I hear you when you say you're feeling down. And I hear you when you want to scream and throw in the towel. And I also hear you when you don't want to face the day or the bills or your partner or even your kids. Because I've been there and I understand. If you haven't lived through the quicksand of depression, I'm really happy for you. And I know it may be hard for you to understand this gift of desperation, but that gift showed me it is possible to go on and live a joyful, productive life and help others along the way. The World Health Organization states that mental disorders is one of the leading causes of ill health globally, affecting 450 million people currently in the world. So you may be wondering, though, what's my point? What's my point in sharing my life stories, the successes I've had, and the scary and shameful times when I hid from people because I was in the midst of terrible, dark thoughts and delusions. Those delusions were all very real to me. I'm hoping that something I've shared will strike a chord with you. And the main point I hope to drive home for you is that life is not about personal power or positions of power. I've had plenty of that. It's about empowering others to be the very best version of themselves. Sometimes we have to be vulnerable to prove to ourselves and others that we are worth it, that we can and do succeed. Revealing our vulnerabilities also creates a profound awareness that we can be a champion, no matter the traumas of life. That is, if we have the tools to inspire confidence, command respect, build credibility, and motivate ourselves and others. We just need to find something we're really good at and then apply the grit and perseverance to make it happen. People not only want to be lifted up by our words and our actions, they're craving them, especially now. We need only look at the casualties of COVID-19, of mental illness and addictions. And doing our part to help in any way possible will prove that where there's a will, there is a way. However insignificant you may feel it is, even the smallest act of kindness is absolutely worth it. Now, I'm happy that 2 charities will benefit from the proceeds of my book and the business around my book. Women for Mental Health at the Royal and Dawn House are the 2 charities I've chosen. I expect to launch my book in the first quarter of 2021. I hope that I can do that in person by then, because it's important to me. But if we have to, we will do it virtually. For now, I'm working with women, doing interviews, speaking to business groups, speaking to students, and writing articles and blogs. I've developed a transformation roadmap, which offers a unique path to get your goals and values in sync. It's designed to see yourself the way you want to be in the future. Not in the future, but right now. And it will help you believe in the best version of yourself, because you'll want to stay away from those thieves of joy. It's not a secret that if you change what you do, you change what you are. And as your coach, I'll help you articulate your vision and move people at their core. We can become respected influencers and make a radical difference in our community, our country, and even the world. It's our choice to make. Now, many of you will have heard of Arlene Dickinson from the Dragon's Den. Arlene chartered her own course and became a very successful entrepreneur with a net worth of over $125 million. Her latest book, Changing Your Life, Your Career, and Your Future, is an excellent read and could even jumpstart your own successful journey. Arlene was born in Africa and raised in Canada. And at the age of 57, her life got all turned upside down and she was losing her business real fast. She was emotionally and mentally drained and faced fear, overwhelm, and shame. So then she used the steps in her own blueprint to get her life back on track. And she developed a sense of purpose. She found her big why in life and was able to look at her strengths realistically and get out of her comfort zone to forge a brave new path for her own life. This brilliant, intelligent woman and well-educated was truly bold in her approach to investments and to taking risks in the game of life and in entrepreneurship. I have a lot of respect for Arlene Dickinson a wonderful example of the results of sheer determination and self-empowerment. Now, my roadmap, as you can see, takes you through 3 separate stages: dream, design, and then shine. Do you dream about the kind of life you'd like to have? And maybe you just have no idea how to start? The steps and the structure in my roadmap will bring you clarity to know exactly where you want to be. And then we'll design and fill your toolkit with everything you need to make it happen for you. Whatever you choose is success for you. And finally, you'll feel a surge of mental strength and determination to get even more centered and be that shining star in the universe and the one that makes enviable differences in our world. We can all be a trailblazer, shed our fears, and become a powerhouse. You did not come this far to only come this far. We're survivors and we're heroes. And most of us have risked everything to make a difference. And we're still risking our investments of blood, sweat, and tears. And yes, even our money each and every day. That's why I say to women all the time, fortune favors the bold and the brave. And you have to be bold and determined to invest in yourself, to invest in your personal development, or maybe start your own business, or jump in that political ring. Maybe you want to become the CEO or chair of the board. My work is dedicated to helping women see their true potential, especially when they just don't know how to get off that roller coaster of anxiety and fear. They could be scared to death because they don't know, they don't want to show their human side or be vulnerable for a little time in order to reach their goals. If you want to become a trusted influencer, you have to be courageous enough to let people in and to let them see that you're the real deal. We know empowered women can make dramatic differences in the world without compromising our integrity, without becoming gurus at public speaking, and without having all the answers at your fingertips. And I'd like to help you, no matter what it is you long for or want to change in your life. My contribution may just help you get onto the right path. I think it's worth a free phone call to find out. Now, every person has a purpose, and their real work is in answering the call and doing the work, such as being flexible and coachable, being responsible, because what you do is what you become, and having a radical work ethic and patience for a speaker who loses her spot as she's talking. Most of us believe we're put on this earth to do good for ourselves and for others. We know that passion propels us to do just that. And for centuries, women of great intelligence and wisdom have released their passion for the greater good. These brilliant women have reached the pinnacle of their chosen careers and are proof positive that we have an innate ability to decipher what it is we should be doing in our life and then going for it. I'm speaking of Mother Teresa, Oprah Winfrey, the Honorable Sheila Copps, who's the first female Deputy Prime Minister of Canada, Margaret Atwood, Michelle Obama, and the list goes on and on and on. There's no shame in reaching out for a bit of help from a mentor or a coach. It could be that magic wand that catapults you to the exact place you need to be to make your dreams come true. It's no secret that most successful people in the world have a coach, and some don't make a move, let alone a decision, without running it by their coach. And there's no shame in that. Those are wise decisions. Great women have advanced womanhood and the world in virtually every field imaginable. We've been pioneers and crusaders for humanity and catalysts for change globally. The late Rabbi Jonathan Sacks noted in a podcast that good leaders create followers, but great leaders create leaders. And very likely many of you are great leaders and could be on this list of inspiring women. Women with whom you share a common strength of character and an understated compassion for the well-being of all women, men, and children. That's why I'm offering you a free coaching call and a copy of my book. Even as we hear of the incredible increases in suicides, overdoses, mental illness, and homelessness due to COVID, we've rallied the troops around us to combat some tragic results of this war in a variety of ways. And I immediately think of the frontline workers and the medical community and the entrepreneurs and those people who each and every day when they wake up, they have to go and walk in to danger to do their job every day. There's no words to express our heartfelt love and compassion for those brave soldiers. They're the real champions and will forever be respected for their courage. But let us not forget that light that is coming towards us. And if we step back and reflect a little bit, what COVID has actually taught us, we can feel a sense of gratitude for what we've learned through this. And I'm speaking of resilience, compassion, patience, self-discipline, strength of character, and courage. And we mustn't forget the fortunes that come from our being bold and brave. These attributes will also help us serve us well in the future. My gift of a coaching call and a copy of my book will hopefully help you find some answers that maybe you're looking for, and maybe I can help you get started to becoming the CEO of your life. Now to my sponsors, Chris Single of Richcraft Homes, Kathy McMillan of McMillan Wealth Solutions, and my premier partner, Dan Bedard of the Eastway Group of companies, my very deepest gratitude for your generosity, your support, and your compassion for women with mental health and Dawn House. And to all of you listening today, my very best wishes for 2021. God bless you for all that you do. And I hope to hear from you soon so we can share our dreams, design what success means for us, and bask in the pride of the incredible difference we can make in this world. I leave you with a message of reflection from Alice Mackenzie Swain. Courage is not the towering oak that sees storms come and go. It is the fragile blossom that opens in the snow. Now, it's been a real treat for me to be with you today. And I didn't hear any heavy metal music or those funny, wacky lights, although they probably should have come on when I lost my place. And finally, I hope that you will contact me at ladiestakeyourplace@gmail.com to schedule your free coaching call and a copy of my book. And now I'd be most happy if anyone has any questions. I'd be happy to answer them.
So, Tina, do we have any questions there that?
Yes, we do have one from Miss Catherine Bell. Claudette, her question is, what do you think is the most important quality of a woman in business needs to be successful?
He has to be authentic, be transparent, true to herself, and have deep empathy for people in general. That's my answer.
Are there any other questions there, Tina, that we should address?
We do have a comment, well, a very nice comment from Miss Marie Noel. Wow, what a great and generous gift from Claudette. Truly, yes. And if anyone would like to contact Claudette, please check your chat box. I will be adding the links to her email address, her website, and her landing page.
Thank you, Tina. First of all, Claudette, you got me a little bit emotional there. Thank you. The words that came out from your amazing presentation was pride, determination, resilience, authenticity, integrity, passion, resolve, and trusted influencer. I just think we're so honored to have you kick off our year with such a powerful message. We thank you so much. And we're honored to have you so much part of our organization. And we look forward to helping you launch your book as well. It's a powerful book, I'm sure, that we should all read. And thank you for also the offer that you're doing for those on call today with the coaching call and your book, very generous. And I'm sure you'll probably get some calls on that. And I know that, Tina, we need to unmute Josie there. She has a few things to say as well. If you could please just unmute her there, that'd be great. Just give us a second there. Thank you. Okay, Josie, there you are. So Claudette, thank you again so much on behalf of all of us this morning. And Josie, take it away. I know you have a few things as well.
Claudette, I also want to thank you very, very much. You had great courage and openness with us today, with strangers here, that you were very giving. So I want to thank you so much for that, because it really empowers each and every one of us to be more authentic, to look more, I guess, honestly within ourselves. And as you said, reach out for that coach. You know, a lot of us say that we're going to go find one, we're going to do this. But honestly, I think you really hit home for me is, you know, finding someone or more than one person to help you through career choices, life choices, you know, and not be alone for anything, really, that we don't have to be alone. And actually, you know, WMB started about 9 years ago because for that very much reason, you know, to have a place that was safe, but also educational for women, that they can come together, they can lean on each other. I mean, yes, it's kind of a weird year where we can't see each other physically, but I guess it's the next best thing. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, really, for presenting today. Thanks, Claudette. I guess my wonderful chore right now is to let everybody know about some of the other wonderful presentations that we have in store for you. For example, I don't know if many of you know this, but we have a very special partnership with the Limestone District School Board here in Greater Kingston. We are absolutely thrilled about. And Gabby and I feel incredibly blessed to be working with this particular team for the SHSM and the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program that they work on so diligently. I believe Jeff is with us here today, actually, Pesnick. And I'm not sure.
Jason. It's Jason, Josie.
Jason. Yeah. So an amazing team. And you'll be getting to know more about them as the months come on. We'll be promoting them on Women Mean Business Network's platform. For example, they have an event coming up on January 26th. If you just go to our website on the homepage, www.womenmeanbusiness.ca, just scroll down to the event section and you will see and learn more about their coming events. If you are a parent or you work with young people, there are some amazing opportunities that are coming for our youth. Please take a look and let others know about it as well. We're very excited about this. I mean, really, it's changing the lives of our youth in the future, direction of business in Eastern Ontario. So it's really kind of boggles the mind at times, you know, that we were given this gift. Also on February 16th, after Valentine's Day, we have a wonderful speaker, Dr. Sarah Wilson, from Advanced Women's Health here in Kingston. Her topic is Busy Women, Angry Hormones. And if that's all, just go to our website, you'll learn more about that one. She's wonderful. She feels her mandate, quite frankly, is to help women with their mental health, but also their physical health, where they feel that they're not really listened to in maybe other medical situations, but she has a different viewpoint. So please do attend or learn more about her as well. Some fantastic, another wonderful speaker that's coming on board in March is Laura Southall, and she will be talking about building your wealth resilience through rental properties. Very interesting lady as well. So please do subscribe. It's free for our newsletter. It comes out every 2 weeks, called Connect and Flourish. Just go to our website, womenmeanbusiness.ca, and subscribe. It's free. And that's where you'll find out about our different events that are coming up, but also resources for businesses and lots of other good stuff too. So Gabby, my dear, last word.
Well, just once again, thank you all for being with us today. And thank you again for the many new registrations that came on board. You are always welcome to join us. As Josie said, please go to our website, go to the events section and see all the events and speakers that we have coming up. We're working ahead, obviously, and we got some great opportunities coming. So thank you again, Claudette. Thank you, Tina, for all being our host behind the scenes and getting everything together. We appreciate your help so very much. And have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for your time and all the best. And Josie, I know you got something to add.
I just remembered one thing. So this is all videotaped, recorded, and so the presentation will actually be on our YouTube channel sometime later today. So you're always welcome to go back and listen, because really I'm going to just to take more notes again, Claudette, because it was filled with so much wonderful information. So yes, please to go to our YouTube channel, Women Mean Business Network, and you'll find it. Thank you.
All the best. Have a great week, and thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, everybody. Take good care.
Week. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, Claudette.
Bye.